Hey there, Stampin' friends. It's Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen, and it's Movie Monday. I am here to talk to you today about our amazing barn door stamp set that we have in our Occasions catalog. I absolutely love interactive cards, and this is a case from Mary Fish. We did this exact card in my WOW class so that we could showcase this cool set, but it actually has a sliding mechanism. So it says, "I'm so happy to know you," and then it's got some little hearts on the other side of the barn door. So let me show you how I created that. First of all, these are the framelits that come with it. So this is actually your barn door that will die cut out your door. There's some wreaths on here. There's a Christmas wreath. There is a spring wreath. These are your little like brackets, I guess, that the barn door would slide on. There's a little sign for the front of your door, and then this piece is like it'll make sense whenever we get this video going. It's like the guide, the guide that the door rolls on, but it's kind of fake. You don't really need it because this is the piece that you do need, and that is die cut. It makes the little slider tracks. Okay, so that comes with it as well, and then of course there's a lovely stamp set that coordinates with it. So this is in our Occasions catalog. I tried to do a lot of this ahead of time so that it goes a little bit faster, but this is the track. And when I die cut this, the key to die cutting it is I kind of just eyeballed it in the center, and I left a little more space at the top than at the bottom. You don't want it too close to the bottom because you have to get some dimension in here to raise that up off of your actual card. But you want to have enough room up here for those little hinges and that little track. So a little more room at the top than the bottom. That gives us our guides. It's going to roll right on there. And I'm gonna, actually I did go ahead and I stamped the door. Oh, there is a piece missing from that because I just ran that through the Big Shot. It's this little teeny tiny door handle. And what I have found is the best thing to work with this is our adhesive sheets. So you take the adhesive sheet, you put it onto your cardstock, run it through the Big Shot, and this will actually become a sticker. And that just, you will not say bad words when you're using that, because trying to use the fine tip glue or the Tombow can be a little messy with these teeny little guys. Those adhesive sheets, those adhesive sheets just made us all very, very happy. So I took a piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my card right now. I want to do this before I actually have the door on there. And I'm just gonna kind of eyeball that in the center. Then I took some hearts, and these little hearts are from our Lots to Love framelits that are in the Occasions catalog. And somewhere is a stamp that has gone missing. I love it when my craft space is messy. Found it. It's never too far away. So I'm going to use some basic black, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment right on this red heart. And then those are going to get glued onto this Very Vanilla piece. And that's just going to go right here. And then what I did was kind of put my door over top, so that kind of gave me an idea of where to actually put my hearts so that they are not covered up by the door whenever the door is open. So a couple little love hearts on there. Cute little card for Valentine's Day, which is coming up quickly. Okay, so I've got those guys on here, and the next thing I'm ready to do is actually start the part that's going to make it the track that this runs on. And what we're going to use are these little washers. These are number 6 washers. Can you see them okay? I found them at Lowe's, Home Depot, any place like that. The trick to these washers is they're small enough that they're not going to show behind your card. You don't want to see that through the track. And they also have a small enough hole that you can use a little tiny mini dimensional on there. So you're going to need 8 per card. So you're going to have 4 that have little mini dimensionals on and 4 that do not. So they're going to go through the track like this. and you're going to peel that little dimensional off. If you guys have been stamping a while, you probably have done spinner cards with pennies, and that's a really fun technique to do as well. This is kind of the same gist, except this does not spin at all. I'm sticking to myself here. Come here, you guy. Come here, you guy. Okay. My finger was kind of stuck underneath there too. So this does not spin, but it's what allows it to move. So you're basically creating a little sandwich between these two washers, and your cardstock is in the middle. You could absolutely use pennies if you have those. My concern would be down here if your penny's too big. I haven't tried that yet. I figured these guys were actually a little bit cheaper because that would be 8 cents per card. And these guys I think are like 100. I think I got 100 of them for like $3. I don't know. I'm not doing the math to decide if that's cheaper or not. You guys can figure that out. But I use the washers because that's what I was told. All right, so now I have my washers on here. And what I'm going to do is spread them out. So I'm going to have one on all the way on one side and one all the way on the other, one to the far left, one to the far right. And in the meantime, I'm going to take my, this is the track that I was talking about that I really don't know what it's called. It's kind of like a faux track. And there is my adhesive sheet on the back. I made that a nice little sticker, which is perfect. So I'm going to peel that off. Maybe I am. I just came in from working on my farm. So that's, I think, why I love this card so very much, because my family owns and operates a dairy farm. And so when I saw this little barn door, I was like, oh, I have to have that. That is so perfect. But anyway, I make videos on the weekends and I work on the farm on the weekends. And so my hands are still a little numb from being outside. Okay, so these little hingy things is what I cut a bunch of them out. And they're so teeny tiny. And so getting them glued on was a little bit tricky. These are going to actually glue onto your door. You don't want them on your card at all because you need them to actually slide on the door whenever you open and shut it. So what I did was just took a little glue dot right where that solid piece is beneath that, woo, it didn't come off, beneath that, or above that last hole there. Now your glue dot might be a little big, so you just kind of roll those little edges in there, and then I'm just going to tack that right onto my barn door. I don't want any adhesive here because I don't want that to actually stick onto my card. I hope this is all making sense. Once you see it move, I think you'll get what you'll pick up what I'm putting down. All right, so now we have another hinge. And now we're ready to do a couple little glue dots right on top of our washers. So I think I want 2 on there just to make sure, and it's okay if they overlap. I just want to make sure that my barn door actually sticks and does not try to jump off of its track there. So I'm going to have glue dots on all pieces. Or all 4 washers, I guess I should say. Snot dots, as my kids, we used to call them when they were little mini glue dots here. And now a lot of my customers call them snot dots as well. Okay, so I'm just going to now, get back in the corner there, sir. Okay, I'm just going to lay my barn door right on top of those 2 washers. And now he's stuck. He's going to slide all the way over, make sure they're all the way to the end. So kind of the trick to this is I want to make sure that my vanilla piece is covered. So when my barn door's open, that you're not seeing any of that cardstock hiding behind there. Okay, so now my barn door should move. You always say a little prayer. There it is. Look at that. I mean, it's just so cute. So then what we need to do, because this is actually going to go onto a card base, is that we need to have dimension under here. And the perfect dimensionals are these strips that we use for shaker cards, these long skinny strips. And you don't have to have it the entire way across, but these just make it so nice because you just trim down. I thought I had scissors here. Some days. I just did a party last night, and so my stuff got moved around. There they are. Okay, I just want to trim this off just a smidge because I don't want that sticking out the edge. So I'm just going to give that a little cut, and then I can piece. It doesn't have to, you don't have to, which end is my sticky end? You don't have to make it meet like you would a shaker card, because nothing's going to fall out, but you just want to have enough on all four sides that this will be raised off of your card base. And you can all use these little tiny pieces. They're perfect. Doesn't really matter. You could use pop dots if that's what you have. That is not a problem either. They work just fine, but you have to use a lot of them. And so these little strips are kind of just perfect. Put that back on there, and we'll use that on the next card. And then you're going to just peel all these guys off. Make sure they're stuck down there. Sometimes that's easier said than done. I'm lacking fingernails this month. Come here, little piece. Okay, now we're going to take a real red card base, and we're just going to stick that down onto our card. Then the final step is I'm going to take some dimensionals. I already have this one done ahead of time. Just going to put a couple little pop dots on here. Those little minis are just perfect. And this is the little sign on the front. I went ahead and die cut that out. There's a little red heart from our enamel shapes. I went ahead and did a little bow from our vanilla twine, and we're just going to hang that right on our barn door. And there you go. Is that not just absolutely adorable? So thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week for Movie Monday.